Good evening. I'm Samin. I'm from Advice Overseas International. I'm the country head for New Zealand. Today's topic I'm going to talk about is the education system of New Zealand. Last week I had spoken about the impact of COVID-19 and what measures New Zealand government had taken. This week I would be talking on the universities, the education, and what are the institutions in New Zealand. A little briefing about New Zealand. I'm sure everybody knows. New Zealand is a very lovely country, a small, a peaceful country without any pollution. It is almost the size of UK and Japan. It has a population of 4.6 million people. In this country, you can find very geographical features, that is, from high mountains, glaciers, you have a very nice coastline, you have rainforests, lot of adventure and sport loving in this country. Basically speaking, New Zealand, the natives of New Zealand are called the Maori or the Kiwis, though the European settlements are the main. And in New Zealand, the quality of education is uncomparable. Being a small country, it has the best institutions. Talking about the institutions in New Zealand, there are about 8 universities, 18 ITPs, which are called the Institutes of Technology and Polytechnics, and also the private training establishments. To have an understanding on how the institutions are based, universities, we have the top 8 universities which are under the world rankings, and we also have them in 65 in top 100 in the subject rankings. Coming to the types of degrees the universities offer, we have universities offering the bachelor's, the master's and the PhDs, and the degrees are also recognized by the NZQF. The NZQF is a body which looks into the quality assurance of the programs which is being offered by the New Zealand universities and institutions. NZQF is New Zealand Qualification Framework. All the universities, the institutions and the IPTs, the private training establishments, all are under the NZQF. Coming to the polytechnics, they are also government based. The universities also are government based. All the 8 universities are government universities and they are in the world ranking. And talking about the polytechnics, we have government institutions, and the courses offered in polytechnics are starting from the diploma, that is, we have the certificate, the diplomas, then we have the undergraduates and the graduate diplomas. They do not run masters and the PhD courses. Coming to the private training establishments, we have the skilled courses, that is the certificate courses, and the New Zealand diploma courses, which is for 2 years. To give you an understanding on the levels of study in New Zealand, the certificate course is a level 3, level 4 certificate, which is mainly skilled. Coming to the level 5 and 6, these are called the New Zealand diploma courses, which are being offered for 2 years. So, post the 2 years of study, the student can stay back for another 2 years in the country, which is called the post-study work rights. Coming to the undergraduate level, which is called the bachelor's level, which is called the level 7. So, undergraduate degrees in New Zealand are very unique. They are almost only for 3 years, though certain engineering degrees are for 4 years. And they are in par with the British education system, and they are recognized internationally, worldwide. That is, the student can get good job profile worldwide and even in New Zealand. Post this 3-year study, the student can stay back for another 3 years, which is called the post-study work rights again. Then comes the graduate diplomas. Graduate diplomas are usually run for a year. These are especially for students. For example, they want a cross discipline. They call the advanced level of the bachelor's, which is also called level 7 degrees. A 1-year postgraduate diploma gives a 2-year stay-back option in New Zealand once the student completes his course. Coming to the postgraduate diploma is nothing but the first year of masters, they also call it, and it is the level 8. Then post this postgraduate diploma, the student can again have a 3-year stay-back option. Coming to the masters, masters is usually 1 to 2 years, which is followed by another 3 years stay-back option. Then the PhDs, the masters is normally a level, the postgraduate diploma is considered as level 8, the masters as level 9, and then comes the PhDs, which is considered as the level 10. So this is how the system of education is in New Zealand. Then students are eligible for part-time options, the 20 hours per week as per all the other countries. The stay-back option is very unique in New Zealand because if the student works in a relevant area of study which he has undertaken for a year, he is eligible to apply for the permanent residentship. New Zealand is a country which permits immigrants, so it is allowing immigrants to come. For example, a student is doing a master's course is eligible to take a spouse along with him or her, whatever it is, and the spouse is also entitled to work full-time. This is only for in the case of masters and PhD students, not for the other categories. Coming to the type of degrees, courses, engineering, IT, ICT, hospitality, agriculture, food, computer science, all varieties of courses are offered in New Zealand. One must be wondering, being a small country, what are the job options and how are the degrees provided there? We have top companies, we have good engineering companies, IT companies, and also the hospitality industry, a wide variety of industries and job prospects for students. Students can get jobs in New Zealand and also worldwide. So that is the quality of degree which the New Zealand institutions offer, whether it be a private establishment or an ITP or a university. The universities are ranked in the world ranking, the QS ranking, and the top universities are University of Auckland, Otago. Auckland and University of Otago are known for their medicine and health courses. Otago is very famous for its dentistry. It is ranked number 2 in the world for dentistry. And health science courses are also a lot offered in New Zealand. Being a tourism and hospitality industry, there is a lot of option for students who are looking forward for a career in their hospitality and hotel management, culinary, cookery, hotel management. These are all the famous destinations. Adventure tourism. Being a tourist destination, we have all these scopes available for international students. The fee structure in New Zealand is very reasonable in comparative to the other country destinations. It is offering international recognized degrees. It is offering the QS world ranking degree, from the universities, and also the job placements are very good, and they mainly focus on practical learning, that is internships. Then you have industry placements, all being offered within the degree. Moreover speaking, the graduate diplomas are more focused on giving the student a technical touch. That is, they are more ready focused to go join the job industry. And the cost of living in New Zealand is very cheap compared to the other countries. On an average, a student requires 15,000 New Zealand dollars. When it is compared to the Indian currency, it comes around 7.2 lakh rupees. This includes the accommodation, the travel, the books, the stationery, the food, and the entertainment. So it is a very affordable country. Coming to the fee structure also, very affordable fee structure. Bachelor's program ranges from 9 lakhs to 13 to 14 lakhs. The masters will range from 14 to 16 lakhs. MBAs are offered in New Zealand, but however, they require good number of work experience and a GMAT score, because that shows what quality of the MBA is offered in New Zealand universities. Then coming to the part-time, I had already told you the student is eligible for the part-time, and during the post-study work rights, see, normally while studying he can work for 20 hours per week. However, once he completes that is when he takes up his 3 years or the 2 years post-study work rights, he can work full-time. The spouse also can work full-time. So the industries, see, mainly the economy of New Zealand depends on agriculture, horticulture, and it is very good for trade. So ICT companies, software companies, you have good engineering companies, everything, hotels, good establishments are there. Student has got a very good career. The intakes in New Zealand are mainly two, that is the Feb and the July intake. However, we have rolling intakes, that is, these institutions are like I had spoken to you about the graduate diploma courses and the postgraduate diplomas, mainly the graduate diplomas and the New Zealand diplomas. They offer a rolling intake, say there are at least 3 to 4 intakes in a year. The quality is really good, and students who have gone through us, we have very good feedback from them. They have settled down there, they are working, they are very good placed, and they give us a lot of references. We have a lot of references, from New Zealand, from our students who are already there. Next, talking to this situation now, we are doing applications because only the travel ban restriction is still there in New Zealand. However, universities are processing, and to facilitate this, we are running a series of virtual fairs. Advice is conducting a series of virtual fairs. Last week we had, and yet to follow up on the 5th and the 7th of May. We will have a combination, that is, we will have universities and institutions together. Interested students can contact us. You can go meet the universities virtually. You can get an understanding what scholarships they have provided. A little bit highlight I would like to give you on the scholarships. New Zealand universities and institutions, yes, they do provide scholarship, but to meritorious students. The New Zealand government, that is, it has got a specific scholarship called the NZEA scholarships, that is the New Zealand Education Academic Scholarship Awards, which is being imparted by the government to the universities. So the students who fall under the specific category for the particular courses are being awarded this scholarship. It can range even from 5,000 to 10,000 New Zealand dollars. I would like to add on that, being a very considerable fee structure for the courses, on top of that meritorious students getting a scholarship, it is going to benefit the students a lot. And the fees, yes, has to be paid upfront in one shot for the first year of study. But however, the scholarship will help us to help the student to get a reduced fee structure. The living expense also is very nominal. New Zealand is a very nice country. The climatic conditions are very good in New Zealand. We have the extreme climates, that is the northern island and the southern island, we call it. There are 2 islands in New Zealand. The northern island, they face a more warm and a tropical climate, whereas the southern island or the south island, it faces a cool and a temperate temperature. So a student going to New Zealand has a lot of opportunities. So nobody has to worry on being whether it's a small country, what are the job opportunities. We have a lot of students going to New Zealand every year. We have very good feedback from the New Zealand students. I encourage all students to please attend the virtual fairs which we are conducting, so that it will be a helpful platform for you. You can come and you can contact us through Insta or our Facebook or our individual branch numbers. We are working from home and we are here to help you out. I have a few questions coming up. What about the PhD or the MPhil programs in management? Yes, New Zealand universities, being renowned universities, they do offer PhDs. However, the student should have a research proposal and a good IELTS score. Sorry, I forgot to tell about the IELTS entry requirements for the institutions. Basically, for a bachelor's degree, the institution or the university requires a 65 and above in their 12th standard, irrespective of the boards, whether it is a CBSE or a metric board. And the IELTS requirement will be 6 bands. Coming to the postgraduate diplomas and the masters, 6.5 is required and a UG degree of 60 and above is required. PhDs, yes, the student should have a research proposal. We need to put in the proposal to the universities, get a supervisor online, and then you can start the formal application process. We do help out students for PhDs and MPhil also. And apart from all this, things I think I have almost covered everything. It is a very good immigrant destination. So students who are looking for a career abroad and a stay back abroad, please, you can see New Zealand as your option. And graduate diplomas, these are very industry focused diplomas because it prepares a student. The class sizes are very small a lot of industrial placements and technical exposure is given, industry exposure is given. So what happens is the student is ready for the job market. So once they are completing their course, immediately they have the opportunity of being pulled back in the industry. Apart from this, talking about New Zealand, I have covered almost all the points. That is, I have covered about the institutions, I have covered about the job prospects. The part-time jobs are very good. Being a hospitality and a tourist destination, there are a lot of part-time jobs available. And a student gets a high-paid job, like around 22 New Zealand dollars per hour. And it can even go up. And being in very it's a country on agriculture and horticulture, there are a lot of jobs for part-time students, like fruit picking, where they are paid more. So the amount they earn for the part-time is very helpful for them, in saving and also for looking after the living expenses as well. And coming to the visa part, the visas are not very difficult to get, provided the student provides the correct logical reasons for study. Either he or she goes for a relevant course, a course which is above the course which they have already studied here in India or any other country, and the reasons to come back, the logical reasons to come back to their country. And the SOP is very important here. So student has to mainly focus on the SOP, and he has to satisfy the immigration New Zealand. So getting a visa is not very difficult. Like other countries where you need to go stand in the queue, get your appointment and all that, visas are online. We advise do the visas online for the students, and we have 98.9% success rate for you visas in New Zealand. I thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'm sure I wouldn't have covered all the information yet. Students, if you have any queries, please feel free to come on Insta or Facebook or contact us. We are always there to help you out. And I also remind you, please attend our education fairs, which is falling on the 5th and the 7th of May. Thank you. I think I have answered almost all the questions which have come up. Anything specifically I've missed out, I'll definitely contact the person and get the information. Thank you.